What's happening, everybody? What's going on, man? This LIB Media, man. It's your boy Rick. This is LIB Media, Lightning in the Bottle. And hey, man, let me talk to y'all real quick, man. So I've been seeing what everybody been seeing out there about this talk about Steph Curry and this generational talent conversation, right? I personally got so much problems with this conversation. It don't it don't make sense because this is how I see it, and a lot of people are gonna disagree with me about this, but it's cool, man. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Y'all put it in the comments. Anybody disagree? Anybody got something to say? But check this out. So this is my perspective on the generational talent thing. Do I believe Steph Curry is a generational talent? Yes. Do I feel what Gilbert Arenas was talking about when he was saying, "Oh, is he a generational talent?" About how like a generational talent means someone that can do something that you will never see again, and was talking about God giving gifts and talents and things like that, right? And so I'm gonna reference something real quick, right? And this reference is gonna be not to really spark up a whole conversation, but I gotta bring it up because it's relevant. This sparks up the whole can NBA players play in the NFL thing, right? Because I think from the outside world, right, until you play a sport, it's hard to tell what's a talent and what's not a talent. You might say, what I mean by that. So I got on my Sand Shark shirt, for y'all that know, I ran track at USCB, right, at my college. And so you got little things like you work on something, like let's just say, like like I wasn't the best athlete, right? I was a pretty average guy, right? So let's just say you work on something like your block start in track. You have some people who are naturally good at having a block start. You can always get better at your block start, but that's why what they do is, and my bad, y'all, is getting dark because I got the window open, so the sun is moving around. So I apologize about that. But you got some people that's naturally good at a block start. The people who aren't really good at it, they can work on it and get better, but they're not gonna. But if that person that's naturally good on it works on it as well, then it becomes even better. Like you got boxers, right? Like power can't be taught. Can you lift weights and get stronger and become better? Yes, but power itself can't be taught, right? You got someone like Terrence Bud Crawford. Like I told y'all in another video how he's one of my favorite fighters. He can naturally switch. Kyrie Irving as a dribbler, when he's dribbling the ball, he's comfortable using this. Every NBA player can use their left, but he's naturally comfortable doing it. These are talents that everybody doesn't see as a talent, right? Because it's like people look at it as, oh, well, I can work at get better at that. I believe you can work and get better at anything. But I think certain people have certain talents. Like you have certain receivers or safeties, right? That can naturally track the ball. Can you get better at tracking the ball? Yes, but it's a talent. Like being a ball hawk is a talent. You have a sense. Like you can see from when the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you kind of know without even looking back where he's gonna be at. That's the talent. The talent isn't being able to catch the ball or being able to track it. You got wide receivers that, like coaches say, look the ball all the way into your hands, right? That's what you're supposed to do. You got wide receivers that don't have to do that. They don't have to do it because they have the talent to. I've already tracked it. They have like a sixth sense of knowing this is where the ball is going to land. This is what I'm going to do. So Steph Curry being able to shoot is generational. It's a generational talent because a lot of us wish we can shoot that well. Yes, did he work hard to get better at shooting? Yes, but he had a natural born gift of the shooting itself, right? Like great passers in the NBA, they have a natural instinct for passing. Do you practice passing drills at basketball practice? Yes, but some people have a natural instinct for it, and I think when people say generational, they start to separate talents. And I think for me, almost anybody that can do something at that level, they have a talent that's quote unquote generational, even if it's not necessarily applied in the same fashion, right? I'll tell you what I mean by that. People would have Steph Curry as a greater shooter than Ray Allen, right? Or Reggie Miller or people like that, right? I agree with that, right? But the reason is because of the different types of ways that Steph Curry shoots the ball. Off the dribble, coming off the screen, you know what I'm saying? Straight off the pick, off a step back. He does it in a multitude of ways. The talent is shooting, right? Which can be generational once you get to a certain stature in it, right? So once you get inside that world of I'm a great shooter, it can be classified as generational to an extent because the average person can't just work hard enough to be that, right? People that can run, right? Jackson, Deionsanders, generational athletes. They can run, they can jump, they can play multiple sports. If they focus their time to play a separate sport, they can do it. So I think this conversation with generational talent is because what it is that people want to talk about talents that pop off the screen, right? For a person like me, I think being able to make a tackle in an open field, like being a great open field tackler in football, is a talent. Because yes, you learn how to tackle, but even though you learn how to tackle, like you have to be able to cut that on, because when you in practice and you practicing tackling drills, you know the drill ain't, hey, I'm trying to tackle LaShawn McCoy and he doing all this. That's not a part of the drill. But you have to have that instinct of I can track his movements and make the tackle, right? So when we start talking about generational tackle, anybody that can do a specific skill, I say, at a level that not a lot of other people can do it at, then it's generational. That's why I disagree with Gilbert at, is that he's saying it can only be one of that type of person and that becomes generational. That's not true, because there's no identical basketball players. The closest comparison, people that say MJ and Kobe, there are differences in their game. And those slight differences, right, can be what make like the form of their jump shot is slightly different. That does not, because MJ was already like a prototype, that does not mean make Kobe not generational. Kobe's still generational because the gap between everybody else is still there. So he has whatever that talent you want to say is, right? I would say Kobe's ability to make jump shots with hands in his face is probably his greatest talent as a basketball player. He can make hard shots that are heavily contested, right? Okay. He can even though MJ did that, Kobe, because of the separation of the rest of the group of people who are also NBA players that can't just do that, that still makes you a generational talent. Because you're gifted this skill that where everybody else starts off at. Let's say everybody starts at, let's say skill of 1 to 10. The normal person starts at 0. You started at 5. So I'm pretty sure Kobe could make hard jump shots when he was in 8th grade. He probably already could do it. He trained it to get better, so he probably went from 5 to 10. With the average person who's really, working on it, busting they behind to do it, they go from maybe 0 to 6, and 6 is probably the highest they can ever get, right? That's why I think it's certain things that should be little talents that should be more appreciated. It don't have to be all of the ones that jump off the screen. Like rebounding is a talent, right? Dennis Rodman is a generational talent as a rebounder. It don't sound like a talent, but he has to track the ball and he can do it at such a better rate than everybody else. People say, bro, you 7 foot. We not seen 7-footers average 5 rebounds in a season. You're like, how you only average 5 rebounds? Because that's just how it works. Some people have a knack for tracking the ball but as soon as it hits the rim, the coach can't tell them how to, I know where the ball is going. But they can just do that. Like the trajectory, for whatever reason in their mind, it works differently, and they can do it. Your IQ can be a talent. Your ability to process, great quarterbacks have the ability to process information fast, right? People might say, well, what's what's Tom Brady's talent or Peyton Manning's talent? Their talent is probably just being able to recall. They have a talent to, I've watched this film 1,000 times. I know what this formation means. I know what I should audible to. I know every single play they run out of this formation. Because I know that, that's my talent. And it becomes generational because I can do it at a level where it's me, him, and him, and nobody else is even close to being able to do that particular thing. So that's where the generational talent conversation gets all wonky for me, because I'm like, certain things, like, and I know this picking hairs, but certain things can be a talent that, like, that you start off, because it's God given, you start off higher than other people in that same category, and then now you just add all your hard work and stuff on top of it. So is Steph a generational talent as a shooter? Yes, because Steph probably could shoot better than his 0 is our 5. So where his base level was, he could already naturally shoot. Anybody who can shoot the basketball really good started off already being able to shoot. People who aren't great shooters can work to become better, but they never become great shooters because it's not in them. And so I think when you start getting to generational, you start talking about, okay, I'm taking my talent and I'm really working at it. And now I'm doing it at a level where only a few of us can do it at that level. That makes you generational. And I think a lot of people don't know what generations mean. I think other people think generations mean like, I think when people say generational, they think, hey, I did it and it won't be done for the next 100 years. That's not how generation works. Like, you know what I'm saying? Generational is like, generation is the next group of people to come along, right? You got the baby boomers, then you got the millennials and whatever, like they come right after each other. It's 20, 30-year gaps in between people. That's what generations are. It's not like, oh, we don't know when we'll ever see the next Steph Curry. It's like, come on, think about how long that's the sport been around. You're going to see the next something because it always has been a next something. So like people like, I don't know when we're going to see another LeBron. It's going to be soon. Maybe it's Wembanyama, maybe it's Luka, whoever, but it's going to be the next something is going to be there. And they're going to have a talent that's separate than this other person's talent. And then people are going to want to try to compare that talent, but that talent is a different talent, right? Because maybe that person just understands how to get to certain spots on the floor, and that's their like Luka, for example. His talent is not shooting or passing, even though he can do those things really well. His talent is understanding pace and how to switch up and when to go and stop. And it's each person gonna have a little bit of something little different. I like to compare it to running backs, right? Because I played running back in high school, right? No running back is built exactly the same, right? Like each running back has something slightly different, whether it's change of pace, being able to cut, feeling the old line out, being able to stretch your stiff arm, your juke, your jump cut. It's one little thing that makes you slightly different than another running back, and that slight difference can mess up the defense. That's why change your pace backs and all that happen, because you just have one little gift that makes you slightly different. And once you do that particular gift at a high level, people start to be like, well, they're not generational because they're not better than this person. It's not about being better. We're talking about the talent itself, right? Like people be like, well, Barry was better than Emmitt Smith because he was going to pass him if he kept playing. Yeah, he would have. Is Barry better than Emmitt Smith in my book? Yeah. But Emmitt's talent wasn't to make everybody miss like Barry's talent was. Emmitt's talent was more of knowing how to not take a big shot and making people miss in small areas. He had a small little wiggle, and that's all he needed. Little wiggle, and that led him to being the NFL's leading rusher for a long time. So, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, y'all give me y'all perspective, man. But this is a topic I love talking about. We're probably gonna have a part two. When I can get Cheese back on here, we probably gonna have a part two because this is a conversation that we really gotta talk about, and I really would like y'all to get involved with this. So y'all let me know what y'all think, man. This has been your boy Rick. This is the LRB Media, man. Lightning in a Bottle Media, man. Y'all stay tuned in with us, man. I'm out of here.